Hello everyone, it's Professor Streeter, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the nuts and bolts of navigating the D2L shell that I have designed for this course. I know it can be a little complicated, so I thought it would be useful to walk you through it a little bit. Put myself down in the corner, and here is our homepage. As you can see, for Philosophy 202, as you can see, there's a lot in the announcements, and so that's the place to start whenever you're going to this page. I've got a welcome announcement with the videos that hopefully you've already watched. And I've included some information about this course. It's a sustainability inclusive course. You can read a little bit about what that means here. We're going to be talking a lot this semester about our way of life and what it means to be committed to a way of life and to take responsibility for it, to be more accountable for it. Well, here's a land acknowledgement, acknowledging formally that the land we live on belonged to indigenous people. And so this is a way of recognizing and respecting those people and their relationship to the land. But it's an interesting question. How do you come to terms with the history of our relationship to this land? How do you acknowledge that you live on land that belongs to other people? And what does that have to do with living an ethical life? What does it have to do with committing yourself or taking responsibility for the life that you're living? So this is something we can talk about some more. Here's the week 1 assignment, both the reading assignment and other tasks. That's here in the announcements. And then I've included a quote from a moral philosopher named Mary Midgley. One way of thinking about the traditional business of moral philosophy, as she says, attempting to understand, clarify, relate, and harmonize so far as possible the claims arising from the different sides of our nature. We are complicated beings. There are multiple sides to human nature. Sometimes they come into conflict. So one thing that we're doing is trying to understand and clarify those different sides of our nature and trying to relate and harmonize them as best we can. Sometimes the conflicts are unresolvable, but in principle, our hope is that we can resolve those conflicts and live a more harmonized life with ourselves and with other people. So that's one way of thinking about the task of moral philosophy, or the task of this course. Okay, but that's the announcements. I will update them regularly. The next step is to go to the content menu at the top here. And if you click there, it takes you to this page, starting with the overview for the course. I've included a joke about fairness. Having a sense of humor is an important part of what we're going to be doing in this semester. Thinking about the value of keeping your sense of humor, of being able to take a joke. So here's a joke about fairness. From a comic that I like by Bill Watterson, Calvin and Hobbes. Perhaps you've seen it. I talk a little bit about the goal of this course, again, the videos that I've shared with you in the announcements, and the syllabus. So that's all there in the overview. The course schedule, if you click the full schedule here, it will break down day by day when things are available on D2L, when they're due. And so far, I just have the quizzes built into the schedule, but other assignments will be built in soon. So you can find when all of the quizzes are available and due here. Once you get down here to table of contents, there's a lot to look at, beginning with course information. And in this module, I have information about me. You can, again, find a link to the syllabus. One big assignment or goal for the first week is that you read the syllabus carefully. If you have questions about it, you can share them with me over email or in the class cafe, one of the discussion forums that I will look at in a moment. Here is the course calendar. And in more detail, you can see each week what our topic is and what the reading and major assignments are due during that week. So this is reading for the first week. Try to get through as much as you can before the end of the week. But then starting week 2, the hope is that you do the reading earlier in the week so that you can participate in discussion, in online discussions, class discussions. And it will help you with the homework assignments and the quizzes. So a big part of this course is keeping up with the reading, which means accessing the books in the first week of the semester. But here you can see the first quiz is due in the first week, and then in the second week is your first big homework assignment, which relates to one of the readings. I will assign a personal reflection for you to turn in the first couple weeks, but that doesn't depend on doing any reading. That's a more of a personal reflection piece of writing, so I can see something about you and how you write. But the first big homework assignment is due here at the end of week 2 on a Sunday. And then, as you can see, week 3, another quiz. So every other week there'll be a quiz. Every other week there'll be a piece of writing that you turn in. If you scroll down, in week 5, that's when you'll turn in the first draft of your first essay. Okay, so all of the major assignments here, including spring break, a time for rest, and the midterm here in week 8, which will be in class, and then finally the final exam here during the final exam period, that's in May. Okay, so you can find all the big dates here in the class course calendar. And then textbook information. Like I said, a big part of this class is having access to the readings and reading the assigned readings carefully, coming prepared to talk about them, write about them. So here are the 2 books I've ordered, and if you can get them at the Barnes & Noble bookstore on campus, you can rent them, you can purchase them. If you have issues about getting the books, you can also apply for a scholarship from the foundation, so I encourage you to do that. You can reach out to me if you have any questions about how to access the textbooks for this course. Okay. And then office hours. There's a link here to my office hours. I encourage you to meet with me this semester if you have questions about the readings, the assignments, but also just to talk about your goals at Prairie State. Anything, I'm here for you. So I encourage you to talk to me. You can click the office hours link, will take you to my office hours schedule, and you can sign up directly for a time slot, or you can just send me an email or talk to me during class. But I'd really like to get to know you outside the classroom, and so this is the way to do it. Okay, so that's office hours. At the bottom of the course information module, I also have some information about academic honesty and writing with sources. And these are library resources. I encourage you to use the library resources that I share with you, especially when you're writing your essays. If we come down here to academic resources, more resources for you. There is a lot here about D2L. If this video doesn't answer your questions, the Student Success Center is a great place, along with the Writing Center, to get help with your writing. The library has many resources for writing with sources, other library guides, but also it's a great source for doing research, obviously. I've got here a citation guide, one of the library guides on how to cite sources in your papers. So this is a direct link to that. And I've included here information about the Office of Access and Disability Services at Prairie State, as well as the IT help desk if you need help with your password, for example. Here's how to set up your password. Okay, student services. It's important as you continue your time at Prairie State that you think about the future. We have a lot of good advisors for planning for the next semester, or the transfer counselor, Sarah Hine, if you're thinking about transferring to a 4-year college after you finish here at Prairie State. So I encourage you to use these resources this semester. If you have other struggles, you can also reach out to our personal counselor here on campus, Shannon Word. And there's links here to financial aid, to the foundation if you need help, scholarship help acquiring books. Okay, and so here I've got links to some of the major, some of the big offices on campus: the Office of Equity and Inclusion, the First Year Experience for those students who are in their first year, the Latinx Outreach and Retention Office, the Male Success Initiative, and if you're a veteran, the Military Student Affairs Center. These are all resources for students if you need assistance outside the classroom or support outside the classroom. Okay? So I'm just sharing that with you. It's important. And then here we come down to the weekly content. So this is course specific. I've got each week broken down by date. So if you click week 1, you've got a little overview to the course, videos that you've hopefully already watched. And here's what we're doing this week. We're focusing on course preparation. And here are the week 1 assignments. Okay. If you scroll down for each weekly content module, there are links to a slideshow and videos that I've shared with you that I encourage you to watch. That's not loading so well. Okay, but these are slideshows on the sort of introducing the first topics of the course. And so these are videos I've made. This is also a video from another source on a question that we'll consider. Is pleasure all that matters? Okay, so there's lots of content here that I encourage you to watch before class or during the week on your own time. It will help you understand the readings and the discussions that we're having. Okay, so that's the weekly content menu. As you can see, one of the assignments for the first week is to complete a class introductions discussion. So you can click here. It's also a link to it is here in the content module. But the discussions are all up here at the top. And as you can see, there are 2 that we have. The class cafe, and that's just general questions you have about the course. These posts are not going to be assessed for a grade. You don't get credit for these. But if you have questions for me, for the class that you want to share, you post them here. You click Class Cafe, start a new thread, enter a subject, question about the syllabus, and when is the final exam, okay? And then you post it here. Look, I share a question that is not answered by the syllabus, but if you have any questions about the syllabus or anything else about the course, share it here. And then you post it. And then that's a question for everyone to see. I can respond, other students can respond. Okay, so that's the Class Cafe discussion. The other discussion forum is called Weekly Feedback. And each week, and I explained this in one of the other videos, you'll post something online about the reading. But for the first week, the post is just an introduction of yourself. Okay, so click here and share some thoughts about you. Thoughts about me. I love cats. Okay. Okay, I've got some questions for you, but this is a way to get to know each other, and other people can read it and comment. Okay, and again, you post your post that way, and then it's there for everyone to see. So those are the discussion forums. The quizzes you can access again in the, going down here, you can access the quizzes just like you can access the discussions from the course content module. So here's a link to it. You can access the quiz also from the course content module. And if you scroll down, I've got the direct link to the quiz here. Okay, and that's due at the end of the first week. And it's just this one is just 5 questions, multiple choice, covering the introduction to Schaefer-Landau's The Fundamentals of Ethics. This one is going to be actually, you have 30 minutes to complete it. In future quizzes, you'll have a little more time to complete it, but you get 2 chances and the highest score counts. Okay, but this is how you access the quiz here. And once the quiz is available, you can start the quiz, and again, you have 2 chances. Okay, so the quizzes can also be accessed up here from this menu. Any of the few quizzes that are open will appear, and you can click them directly from the quiz menu. Okay, I encourage you to just stay in the content menu because you can find everything there, but that's up to you. Okay, and then at the bottom, I've included some online readings and resources. So for example, if you haven't accessed the books yet, some of the readings from the books I will make available early in the semester, but certainly by the second week, I'm expecting that all of you will have the books. But I also include other links to extra readings or online content that is relevant to what we're talking about that week. So you can usually find that in each weekly content module at the bottom. Okay? So that's just giving you a sense of